On this episode of the Josh Kirby on Sports podcast, we will be looking at Week 8 of the National Football League, along with a World Series recap, some NBA scores and news for you, and the NFL trade deadline. All that and so much more. That's all coming your way next with me and CJ Mint here on the Josh Kirby on Sports podcast.
Oh, indeed. I'm glad you connected. This is Dave Johnson, voice of the Washington Wizards. You have connected to the right place because you are listening to my man, Josh Kirby on Sports Podcast.
Alrighty, ladies and gents. Episode 11 of the Josh Kirby on Sports podcast coming to you right now. I have with me my special co-host, the one and the only CJ Mint here on the brand new podcast setup. So hopefully this audio sounds a little bit better. But CJ, how we doing today?
It's been a little bit over a week, Josh. Got to get back at it and talk some sports with these people out here, man. It's been a good week in sports, too.
Oh, definitely, CJ. Like it's a beautiful day outside, but we just have to talk about the wonderful world of sports that's been going on this week. And I want to start first with the World Series. What a way to end it for the Red Sox. It ended Game 5-6.
It was Game 5.
Yeah, Game 5, and
4-1.
David Price. They keep David Price in. For me, I thought they would put Chris Sale in, obviously, but he was in there to close. But that just goes to show you how much confidence Alex Cora had for David Price to get the job done.
Well, they're playing against the Dodgers. This is their fourth championship since 2004. These guys know how to get it done in the postseason, and this year they did it. And we saw the Kershaw that not many people want to see if you're a Dodgers fan in the World Series.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like Clayton Kershaw, you don't know what version of Clayton Kershaw. You never know. The Dodgers, they're a great team. Don't get me wrong. They're a great team. But they are so inconsistent when it comes to the playoffs. And I think it all has to fall back on manager Dave Roberts. And I think he's not going to – I don't think he has a future there for very much longer.
Yeah, but nonetheless, 2 World Series appearances in the past 2 years. The Dodgers are a good franchise. They just got to find the right pieces to finish the job off to win the World Series, though.
Yeah, most definitely. But what really screwed me over on an off topic was how late these games were played. Like seriously, like they played in Boston, didn't get started till 8:30, and then they had an 18-inning game. I only got 3 hours of sleep for that, so I mean, we didn't get to watch a lot, but you know, with the highlights and stuff, we could just see there was something different, and the Dodgers just couldn't get the job done. And Clayton Kershaw, I just don't know. Like, do you think? What do you think needs to change with the Dodgers?
I could see him being traded. I honestly could. But for the Dodgers, I don't know if there's much that they could have done against the Red Sox with them winning 108 games this season. The Red Sox were just the team that you just did not want to play against. And they showed it absolutely in the World Series because 108 wins, that just doesn't come by choice. And not only did they dominate in the playoffs, they beat the Astros in 5 games, beat the Yankees, their one of the best rivalries in sports, and now they beat the Dodgers in 5 games. I mean, you can't do that easily unless you're this Red Sox team.
Yeah, definitely. And what makes it even more special, they have a rookie manager.
Yeah.
Last year, Cora was the bench coach for the Astros.
Not bad for your first time as a manager. You get a fat ring on your finger now.
two fat rings because he was the bench coach at Houston.
Are you serious? Now he's going to get even a better ring now.
What? You didn't even know that?
Huh?
You didn't even know that?
No, I did not.
Wow. you got to read up on your sports, CJ.
All right, man. All right.
All right. So, moving on here. Trade deadline. Can Washington, D.C. be the no-fly zone this week?
No. Are you kidding me?
I mean, it sounds. I mean, you never know with the Redskins, but
That's why I'm saying, you kidding me?
yeah, but
It's
still,
week to week
the
with them.
Redskins trade a 4th-round pick for Clint Dix.
Which is a good choice. You're not the Cowboys who trade a 1st-round pick for Amari Cooper.
Yeah,
That's the difference between a good trade and a bad trade.
no, most definitely. But the thing about that is, I really do like the deal there. I love we brought in Clint Dix. I love the fact that the Redskins did it, but he's a free agent after this season,
Yes.
so
There was a lot of turmoil with him in Green Bay, though. He
Yeah.
wasn't very happy there. Is Swearinger a free or strong safety for you guys?
I believe he is the strong He might be.
Man,
I don't know.
if you guys have both of those guys back there, it's going to be a pretty
Yeah.
good secondary back there.
Yes, definitely. But my point being, if Clint Dix can perform for the Redskins this offseason, I think they were.
Oh, they'll definitely sign him.
Yeah,
He's one
there
of the
will
top
definitely
safeties in the league.
be a big deal for him. And,
Absolutely.
yeah, I think the Redskins need that moving forward. Like,
He's one of the last few safeties that can knock someone out and isn't afraid to tackle and can cover at the same time.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. If you see here, let's take a look back at his career stats. He was drafted in the 1st round by the Green Bay Packers.
That's them Alabama boys.
Oh, man. The Redskins in Alabama, just something about that, No, but anyways, 2014 1st-round pick. And let's look at his total stats with Green Bay 2014 to 2018. Combined tackles, 378. Assisted, 79. 5.5 career sacks so far.
As a safety, that's pretty good for safety.
Yeah, 5.5 sacks, 14 interceptions for 116 yards. I got to say that's pretty good. And some milestones in 2016, he had 5 interceptions for 75 yards on the season. That's really good. That was an eye-popping stat I wanted to share. And 2015, he had 100 combined tackles.
That's crazy. I mean, not many safeties do that anymore. It's more on the linebackers. But when you have a safety that can lead you in tackles, it's always good to have someone who can help out back there.
Yep. So the Redskins face Atlanta on Sunday. So Washington, D.C. could be a no-fly zone.
Yeah, let's see if they can stop Matt Ryan, who's a good quarterback right now. Let's see if they can stop him in the secondary.
Most definitely. I'm not making any promises to you all because I don't know what the Redskins can bring to the table, but
Second half, we'll see.
Clinton Dix. Great. But since we're on the topic of the Redskins, how about them Redskins? I'm really not bought into them yet. I'm really not. I was following the game on my phone the entire time against the 1-6 New York Giants.
It's a division game, though, Josh. You can't look at it in record standpoint like that. You have to look at it as an NFC East matchup, and these two teams know each other very well.
Yeah,
And
but
it's a close game.
yeah, I mean it was close, but still, I just think the Redskins did not play well. Like it.
Adrian Peterson played well.
Yeah.
I
Oh
can
yeah.
tell you
Yeah.
that.
Adrian
I can tell
Peterson.
you
Like,
that.
but no, most definitely. Adrian. Let's start with the goods. Adrian Peterson, 26 carries, 149 yards in a long touchdown run. 149 yards. Jay Gruden let him get over 100 yards. That's great. Chris Thompson, 13, and Alex Smith, 13 yards rushing. Just want to throw that out there. But my issue was Alex Smith. Like he wasn't really throwing the ball that well, Like he was 20 for 32 that game. I just don't think he puts his passes on target some of the time.
He doesn't have the best deep ball, I could tell you that.
Yeah.
From even in Kansas City and San Francisco, he doesn't have the best deep ball or the best arm strength. But
Yeah, he only has
he's accurate.
He only has 178 yards passing
He's
this
had
game.
some low games for yardage in these past couple weeks.
Yeah, but the only reason why I think the Redskins won is because the defense played great. We shut down Saquon Barkley.
It's hard to do that right now, man.
13 carries, 38 yards.
That's pretty good.
Oh my
That's
God.
pretty dang good.
Yeah, but Saquon Barkley, when I saw that stat, I was surprised. I was like, wow. I was like, really? We stopped Saquon Barkley?
Now, will that probably happen again this year for the Giants? Probably not likely because Saquon will find a way.
Oh, yeah.
He'll
Well,
find a way.
1-7, the Giants are in desperation. They'll do whatever it takes to win.
I don't get it, man, with the Giants. Even their backup quarterback, who's an FCS guy, Kyle Lauletta out of Richmond.
Got
He was
arrested.
arrested. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
it's turmoil up there, man.
Yeah. I tweeted or Facebooked that man, if Eli starts sucking too bad, they don't have a backup quarterback to go to because he got arrested.
Yeah, man. And he's an FCS guy, so it hurts me a little bit. It hurts me a little bit
man.
to see that. But the Giants just have to get through the season now. Can't be worse than the Browns, who just fired their head coach and offensive coordinator.
Man. Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah,
but
we will definitely. Yeah, but staying on topic, that was a 20-13 win, the Redskins over the Giants. But one of the reasons why I think the Redskins won that game is because the Giants are terrible, but it was a division game, 20-13.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk more trade deadline stuff. The Packers once again trading Ty Montgomery to the Ravens.
Now my Steelers got to deal with this guy? Come on now, man.
Well, when I heard this news, I was like, the Packers must be clearing house or something.
They got to be having some new players that they got to bring in, especially since it is a lot of older guys up there. I mean, they haven't had like a first-round running back in I don't know how long. Since Eddie Lacy, I think. But even then, like, their run game has not been up to par with what you would have, with what you need in the NFL. But you don't really need that with Aaron Rodgers, but still, you need to be able to establish the run game. You have to win a football game.
Yeah, most definitely there. And how about this one? The Rams' defense just gets better with Dante Fowler.
4 first-round draft picks on the defensive line for L.A. You got Aaron Donald, who was a first-rounder out of Pitt. Michael Brockers, who's a first-rounder out of LSU. You got Ndamukong Suh.
Oh, my gosh.
And then now you have Dante Fowler.
Yeah, the coin term defense wins championships.
It's scary.
Oh, my gosh. And the Jags trading Dante Fowler, apparently he underperformed or something.
Well, he's used more in substitutional packages because you have Yannick Ngakoue and you also have good guys like Malik Jackson and Calais Campbell who can hold down the defensive line now. Yeah. And so I guess they just seen that he would have a better chance in another team.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong here. The Jaguars just seem inconsistent this season.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm not really sure why they would trade away Dante, but the Rams, are they gonna lose a game this season?
Oh yeah, we'll get into that later, and I'll give you a pick for that.
All right,
but
CJ, you're making this podcast way too suspenseful. Okay, moving on here. Let's see. Eagles. They traded 2019 third-round pick for Golden Tate.
Yeah, that's a great. Now they're loaded at receiver. You got Jordan Matthews, Alshon Jeffrey, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert. You got Richard Rodgers. You got Nelson Aguilar. And now you got Golden Tate. My God. I mean, they're loaded. Now, does that mean they'll stay consistent? I don't know. They've lost 4 games already this season. But right now, their offense is loaded. Now they just need to find a running back who can at least hold them down. Wendell Smallwood and Adams and Clement have been doing a good job in Ajayi's absence, but they need to find a stable running back who can hold them down. And who knows when Sproles will be back? Who knows?
Yeah. So that's scary for the Redskins knowing that the Eagles have Golden Tate. So since we talked about the Jags and the Eagles, I want to get into that game a little. So how about that trip to London, like not paying a $65,000 bar tab?
I mean,
oh my God.
Why do you do this in another country? Why do you do this to these people? Eagles beat them on their second home turf because London is kind of like a Jaguars home turf because they're there every single year.
Yeah.
And they bring in the fans. And not only that, I mean, this was a tough win for them to do this, the Eagles. Carson Wentz was on fire. He did a lot of great things in that game. And they also lost both tackles in that game. Jason Peters and Lane Johnson went down with injuries, but Jason Peters came back in the second half. There was a play where Dante Fowler was going up against him. Oh, it was ugly. Dante Fowler just got absolutely mauled and just thrown into the ground by Jason Peters. You could say what you want. Jason Peters is a Hall of Famer for the Eagles. But this Eagles team, they look good against the Jaguars. And Blake Bortles, man, he's just having those. He's having another season like this, man. 2 years ago, they thought that he could at least bring this offense back to life. Now he's still struggling, man.
Yeah, the Blake Bortles there, I pulled up that stat for you. 24 for 41.
41 times they threw the ball?
Yes.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, 286 yards and only one touchdown.
Speaks volumes for him.
Yeah.
I mean, no run game without Leonard Fournette. There's no run game.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette getting taken out against the Giants. That was week 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he hasn't been back since.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and goes to show you Blake Bortles is their leading rusher.
That's crazy how TJ Yeldon, who's an Alabama guy, has not taken a great
2 carries, 7 yards.
What? I didn't even know that stat. They ran the ball twice with TJ Yeldon?
For only 7 yards.
Okay, we need to go to the next game because that's just ridiculous. You have got to be kidding me that
Oh my God.
you established the run game all right, Jacksonville. Nice job.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so 24-18 that score. How about your Steelers not tying at this time?
You're funny, Josh. Hey, let Le'Veon Bell walk.
Yeah, yes.
Just let him walk.
Yeah, he's on my
Can't
IR
say it
spot
enough.
in my fantasy team, and there's really no reason for him with the numbers James Conner is
He's
putting up.
third in the league in rushing right now.
I
only
saw a
behind
stat on
Gurley and
Facebook.
Elliott.
I saw a stat on Facebook, and James Conner has rushed for more yards in 8 games. 8 games than Bell did last season.
Than Bell did last year. And he's also got double his touchdowns that he did last year in the first 8 games.
Yeah. So, Le'Veon Bell, if he comes back, does he have a starting job?
No. In my opinion, he doesn't, but that doesn't mean that the Steelers are going to do that. I'm sure they'll find some way to put him in, but that's just very disrespectful. To even consider James Conner should be put on the bench. What has he done wrong? What else does the man have to prove out there on the field to have Le'Veon Bell come back? Did James Conner hold out for a new contract in his second year in the NFL? No. He went out there and he played football. What does Le'Veon do? He cries in a corner and wants his money. You got to be kidding me if the Steelers don't play James Conner over Le'Veon Bell. Yeah. And whoever says, but Le'Veon Bell's more dynamic, it doesn't matter, dude. Because guess what? James Conner is proving that Le'Veon Bell does not make or break a team at all. He's not one player that is everybody on the field. That offensive line does a lot of great things for James Conner. And guess what? James Conner has done what Le'Veon Bell has done. So if the Steelers start Le'Veon Bell, I'm going to be very disappointed. That's unbelievable to me.
Yeah, James Conner, he's been through a lot. And for him to play this well, I just think...
He's an inspiration, man.
Yes, he is. He's an inspiration to me, sort of.
I don't understand how Le'Veon Bell is a second-round draft pick out of Michigan State, played 2 years there, and now he thinks that he's the real deal in the NFL. James Conner, his junior season, was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He had to sit out his entire junior season because of cancer, and all he wanted to do was know that he could play football again. In his senior year, he comes back, and they beat number 2 Clemson in Clemson, and James Conner was the star of that game. Mm-hmm. And then in the 3rd round of that draft, Pittsburgh drafts the Pittsburgh running back. Yeah. That's a story, man. That's amazing.
So he doesn't have to go anywhere.
Exactly.
He still plays in the stadium he played college ball at.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I'll never forget the video of him when he gets the call saying his cancer's in remission, or then he starts crying. Like, that whole story with James Conner, it just really touched me.
The difference between him and all these other players is that while he was sick, there's a video of him running sprints with a mask on because
that's dedication right there.
He's running with a mask on because he has to. That's unbelievable to me. So I don't understand if the Steelers play Le'Veon Bell over James Conner, because not only is it going to tear that locker room apart, it's going to be just the question of the year of, like, why are the Steelers starting Le'Veon Bell over James Conner when he's 3rd in the league in rushing?
Yeah, so that's really going to be a big question once Le'Veon Bell comes back.
He's got 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
He's got 2 more weeks, and then he can't play the rest of the season. He has to show up either this upcoming week or the next week. And if he doesn't, he can't play the rest of the season. Really? That is the rule.
Oh, okay.
That is the rule.
So, yeah, and another thing is he's missing out on all this money.
$8 million must be chump change to him, I guess. Yeah. It must be chump change.
I mean, he hasn't signed the franchise tag because...
And he's missing game checks.
Because I bet you he wants a longer deal.
That's the whole reason why he's holding out. Yeah. He's held out for 2 years now.
Yeah, similar to the Redskins, franchise tag Cousins, ship him off to Minnesota.
Yeah, but Kirk Cousins didn't hold out for a contract. Yeah, Le'Veon Bell has held out 2 training camps and now this portion of this year's season.
Yeah,
there's a difference between those 2.
Yeah, but similar, in my opinion. But any stats you want to talk about from that game, Pittsburgh and Cleveland?
I mean, for me, the biggest thing was James Conner had 202 total yards, had 146 rushing yards, and 66 receiving yards.
Oh, my gosh.
That's crazy. Because the Browns, I commended their defense. I do. I commend their defense because it's the one thing about their team that's actually kind of good. And James Conner just made them look like fools. And after that game, Dorsey said, bye-bye, Hugh Jackson. You're done.
Yeah.
You're done. And same thing with you, Todd Haley, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah.
Because not only was he the offensive coordinator for Pittsburgh the past couple of years, sure, he took our offense to new heights, but the offense was also detrimental in very serious situations.
Yeah, and defensive coordinator Greg Williams is the new acting head coach.
Yep.
Former Redskins defensive coordinator.
You always know about him, don't you, Josh?
Yep, and he was part of Spygate as well, so. Yeah, no, Bountygate. I get those two confused.
Bountygate, yeah.
Yeah, Bountygate. So,
Bountygate's with the Saints, Spygate's with the Patriots.
Yeah, I get those two confused because. But anyways, but the Browns, you watch Hard Knocks at the beginning of the season, and
I was excited for the season. I was ready for the season to start.
Yeah, it just makes you think the Browns were going to be this great team with Baker Mayfield, but I mean, they're playing better. They have 2 wins.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
you're still 36-1.
That was the craziest stat.
3 seasons as a head coach.
There's no way you can be a head coach in the league with that.
Nope.
I'm surprised they waited this long to get rid of Hugh Jackson.
They seem to think that he could at least turn the program around, but after these past couple of weeks to see these humiliating losses, it just seemed fit for him to go. And I agree with John Dorsey sending him off.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, John Dorsey. I remember in Hard Knocks.
Baker Mayfield, his impression of him was on point. It was on point.
Yes, definitely. That was a 33-18 score. Pittsburgh over Cleveland. They improved to 4-2-1 on the season. Let's see here. Green Bay gave Los Angeles a run for their money.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I'm not
like
surprised
with
by
Aaron
that.
Rodgers,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
He's gonna put up a fight.
Yeah, he's going to put up a fight, absolutely. It's just, can the Packers' defense give a fight? And they kind of did until the very end of the game when the Rams took over.
Yep, and where was I? Shoot. Rams took over. Jared Goff just had a great game.
Jared Goff has had a lot of great games this year.
And he's just keeping going. His completion attempt percentage isn't the best, only 19 for 35, but he has 295 yards and 3 touchdowns. Almost 300 yards. Aaron Rodgers, 18 for 30, only 286, and 1 touchdown. So
Rams are still unbeaten, but as I said before in
yeah,
the
so
beginning of the podcast,
let's hear your thoughts on
they
will
play
the Rams.
New Orleans next week.
Oh yes, that's going to be close.
I'm picking New Orleans to beat LA because of the fact that it's in New Orleans on primetime football. It is hard to beat New Orleans.
What
on
is it,
primetime
Sunday or
football.
Monday night?
It is Monday Night Football.
yeah.
Because on Sunday night, you got the Packers and the Patriots, two of the greatest quarterbacks going in a duel against each other. But on Monday Night Football, I'm picking New Orleans to beat LA in New Orleans.
Yeah, we can already pick that's going to be the game of the week.
It's going to be a couple good games this week. it's
that
gonna
might
a good
be
week
one of
football.
the best games of the week, though. But how about Johnny Hecker 1 for 1 for 12 yards?
He can do it all, man.
Yeah, and that's crazy. But Rams pull out to 8-0, 29-27 over the 3-1 Green Bay Packers. Man, San Francisco and Arizona.
Putts of the week, man.
Yeah, putts of the week. Like seriously, like if I can see here, the end of the first quarter, it was 2-0.
What? Oh my goodness.
And
Why?
then the end of the second quarter, it was only 5-3.
That sounds like a hockey score.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That
no,
sounds like a hockey score.
I was sitting down on the couch with my pops, and he was like, "Man, are they playing hockey or something?" And I was like, "Are they?" And he said, "Are they playing baseball?" But wow, like two very bad teams just get close.
I had such high hopes for San Francisco this season until you lose your franchise quarterback in Jimmy G. I mean, it's sad to see San Francisco go down. And even with the acquisitions of Richard Sherman, I mean, it's scary seeing the 49ers go down like this. At least they won't go 0-16. They got to win on the season.
Yeah, that is true. But that's the final there. The Cardinals improved to 2-6, 18-15 over the Cardinals. Yeah, Cardinals with first-year head coach Steve Wilkes. I just don't know.
No.
Are they rebuilding?
I
Sam
couldn't
Bradford
tell you.
obviously wasn't performing well, and I when the Redskins played the Cardinals, I was like, yeah, Sam Bradford's terrible, and I mean, I'm glad they put Josh Rosen in, but if you look at the stats, 23 for 40, 252 for 2 touchdowns and an interception. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? Like, are they rebuilding with their new head coach, or what do you think?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, with Josh Rosen, you would think that he would be the starting quarterback, even though I don't have the most faith in him because he didn't come from the best school in UCLA. I couldn't tell you about the Cardinals. I really couldn't because they're in a division that's mainly dominated by Seattle and LA right now,
Oh, yeah.
and they're put on the back burner right now. So I really couldn't tell you. I just can't. I'm just playing bad football. And the whole thing with Patrick Peterson, you're going to trade away your best player right now when you're trying to rebuild. I mean, you're going to have a tough time then if you trade away that man. Because in my opinion, he's the best cornerback in the league in terms of his size and speed. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you about the Cardinals. I couldn't.
Yeah, you always see those two bad teams go head to head, and it's always a close game for some reason. So, let's move on. Man, New England, they didn't run up the score on Buffalo.
Division matchup. I mean, the
Yeah,
thing for me is
granted.
that it was in Buffalo on primetime football. Of course, they're not the best on Monday Night Football, and they were playing against
Just
Derek
like the
Anderson.
Redskins.
They were playing against Derek Anderson.
Yeah, what happened to why they put in Anderson?
Because Nathan Peterman is not that good of a quarterback.
Wait, okay, so
Derek Anderson got the start because they acquired him from free agency and signed him, and then they played him over.
what
Nathan
happened to
Peterman.
that?
Josh Allen?
Yes.
He's been injured.
Oh, yes, that's right.
He's been
Okay.
injured. I think he might come back in a couple of weeks. It hasn't been a serious injury,
Yeah.
but he's been injured the past couple of weeks. to
Yeah,
where he can't play.
that's what I was confused about. I was like, why are they putting Anderson in? And yeah, I totally forgot he got injured, but looking at the stats here, they just make my eyes want to bleed. Derek Anderson, 22 for 39, 290 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception.
And it was a pick six too. Devin
Yeah.
McCourty to the house.
Yeah, and then they put in Nathan Peterman. He goes 2 for 2 for 23 yards.
But that's at the end of the game though.
Yeah.
And that's not going to change anything.
Yep.
They were going to lose that game either way.
Yep, the Bills fall to 2-6 after that loss, but
Patriots go 6-2 now.
man, what's wrong with Minnesota? I thought that was going to be a great game, but New Orleans pulls out the 10-point victory, 30-20.
It's because they remember that miracle.
Oh yeah, that was a great play. I remember watching it, and I screamed at the TV. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Did that really just happen?"
It's one of those moments that you look at the screen and you look back and you're like, nope, we're still alive. That literally just happened. I mean, Marcus Williams, I feel so bad for him. He tried to make a serious play at the end of the game. He had his head dipped down and missed the tackle in midair. That's just a careless mistake.
And then Joe Buck goes bonkers.
Yeah.
Not too often you hear Joe Buck go bonkers, but he went bonkers a couple
Oh yeah,
times
his
in the
voice
World
got
Series.
loud. His voice got loud.
Yeah, very loud. But 30-20, New Orleans improves to 6-1, Minnesota 4-3-1, and okay, so two things: the Colts and the Raiders game. Number one, my brother, he went to VCU, and when he went to VCU, he went to all the basketball games there, and there was a basketball player named Mo Ali Cox who played for VCU. He's now on the Colts, and he caught a one-handed touchdown pass in this game, and I was like, really? He played VCU basketball, and now he's playing for the Colts.
I mean, Jimmy Graham was a basketball player in college.
Like, no, but like when I was talking to my father about this, I was like, really? Like, he actually plays in the NFL? Because we thought he was going to go to the NBA or something.
I don't know. Maybe he has the body type for an NFL tight end.
Yeah, but we saw that and we were just so surprised. Like, wow, is that really him? But Mo Ali Cox, 1 for 1, 26 yards and a touchdown. One target, one catch, 26 yards and a touchdown. So, and second thing, Adam Vinatieri passes Morton Anderson's scoring record.
The most clutch kicker in NFL history, and he finally now gets the record.
Yeah.
As the most points in NFL history.
Yeah, that was a really great moment. Vinatieri definitely deserves it.
I mean, it's good to see the old man finally get it done because Morton Anderson, he just got announced into the Hall of Fame. I think it was this past year or the year before.
Yeah.
So now that Adam Vinatieri has done it, it's good to see him because I still remember the greatest kick he ever had was against Oakland in the snow in the playoffs that took them to their first Super Bowl victory in 2001.
Yep, I remember. Kansas City proved 7-1. Patrick Mahomes, as usual, going off 303 yards, 4 touchdowns, and only 1 interception.
How about Jameis Winston getting benched, man?
The Fitz.
How about that?
Oh yeah, the Fitz magic almost came back. Like
Almost
yeah,
brought him back, yeah.
yeah, that was a really close game. But
37-34,
yeah, yeah. Kansas City against Denver, 30-23, just so you all know, and 37-34. Wow,
4 picks for Jameis Winston.
I knew Fitz magic was the answer all along. Fitzpatrick, really.
Your sidekick, Josh. I can see that.
No, I'm seriously saying from the start, Jameis Winston shouldn't have been starting. But Dirk Cutter seems one bad game out of Fitzpatrick. He put Winston in. I mean, I just think he should have let Fitzpatrick keep playing because he's gotten most of the playing time this season. And, wow, Winston with only 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions.
Yeah. That deserves a benching.
Yes, and let's see who they play next week. Do you know? The Buccaneers, Carolina. I think they should. I don't even think Jameis Winston should play. I just think Jameis Winston, he's just not good for the team.
I don't think so anymore, especially after his suspension that he had this past year. So.
Yep. So, any other NFL scores you want to look at?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson is back, baby. 5 touchdowns.
Yes.
16 of 20 for
How could I
239.
forget that, CJ? What? Yes.
It's the Thursday night game, man.
Yes. Over the.
You were probably watching the VT game, which we will talk about in great detail. I have a great story for that.
Yes, but no, I didn't get to watch that, but 239 yards with 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. When Deshaun Watson's healthy, he plays really well.
He is going to be the NFL Comeback Player of the Year, no doubt about it. He is showing this offense again, and now he gets Demaryius Thomas on his wide receiver squad now, along with DeAndre Hopkins.
And I totally forgot to mention that in our trades and free agency. And
How could you?
Yeah. No. What are your thoughts on that Demaryius Thomas trade? He's getting pretty old, granted, but
He can still catch the ball, though, pretty good.
Yeah. No, I know that, but
And now that he's going to have a better quarterback to throw it to him.
yeah, I think that's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but what Watson comeback player of the year? I 100% agree with that because after tearing an ACL and he comes back. Yeah.
It was in practice.
Yeah, and he comes back and plays better than RG3. No, I'm playing. Yeah, just had to throw that out there really quick. But, wow, that was crazy. Amazing. Any others, CJ?
No, I think we all covered them except for the Bears and Jets, but not really much to talk about.
24 to 10, like, yeah. Not really. I mean, Bears, obviously the better team. Trubisky, 220 yards with 2 touchdowns. Darnold, 153 yards and 1 touchdown. And you know the story there. Bears established the run game. Jets did not. And this story tells itself pretty much. All right, so moving on. So let's get to the college football breakdown.
So as I said, we will talk about this game in great detail. Virginia Tech versus Georgia Tech this past Thursday night. Georgia Tech mopping the floor with them 49-28.
With no passing yards.
They threw the ball one time, and it was incomplete. They had 400 yards of offense, all running. I'm about to cuss here. I don't understand how Bud Foster doesn't tell his defense, watch the damn ball for the run. I don't understand. I just don't get this. 0 passing yards. Their quarterback threw the ball one time for no yards. It was incomplete. And on top of that, 465 total yards of offense, all from running the ball, as I just said. 78 rushing attempts, 78 plays of offense, all rushing. They dominated this game in time of possession. They had the ball for 42 minutes on offense. 42 minutes on offense? Are you kidding me? I can't. This game is just ridiculous. Tobias Oliver, their quarterback, 40 carries for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns. Their quarterback. You have got to be kidding me. I understand that this is the triple option offense. It is a run-based type of offense. Then why in the world did you not watch the film and say, hey, they're only going to run 5 plays? ISO, dive, fullback dive, reverse, or a counter, or even a draw, or whatever. How do you not tell your defense, hey, they're going to run the ball every single play? It's despicable. I don't even want to talk about the game anymore after that.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech wins 49-28 over Virginia Tech.
my
in a disgusting game.
I saw the stats and my mouth literally dropped.
0 passing yards, my man.
0. Like
0.
Reminds me of another team that we'll keep between you and me. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. I mean, Josh Jackson, obviously, still injured.
Yep.
And Dylan Rivers gets injured in that game as well.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
But even he couldn't help that defense stop the ball from running, man.
Yeah, but hopefully Dylan does get better here
Absolutely.
soon. Yes, hoping for a quick and speedy recovery for him, Dylan Rivers.
So
you are in our thoughts.
I have to give a shout out always to my Dukes. They beat Stony Brook this past weekend.
Yes,
13
great
to
win
10.
for them.
Yeah,
13 to 10.
I was there
It
at
should.
the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, it was.
I'm
a great
surprised
game.
you didn't post it on the podcast Instagram page.
I'm sorry, I was just too into the moment. It was 13 to 10 was the final score.
Hey, once again, the podcast has an Instagram page. Make sure you go follow at. Let me search this up. Let me just make sure.
We have so many long names to give
Yeah.
you people.
Okay, at Josh Kirby on Sports Podcast. No spaces, no uppercase, all lowercase, one word. Josh Kirby on Sports Podcast. Me and CJ will be posting stories from there and pictures as well. So please, we already have 25 followers. Let's get another 75, make it 100.
That's what I like to hear. But as I was saying,
Yeah,
with
sorry about that.
the Dukes, I don't understand this play calling in this offense that we have rolling right now. Stony Brook's defensive line and their defense as a whole was very good against our running attack. And we just did not throw the ball around very well. And only holding ourselves to 6 points in the second half. We shut out Stony Brook in the second half, but that's to be expected when you have one of the best defenses in college football.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. The Dukes get the win, and now they got to go on the road up to New Hampshire this weekend and play New Hampshire. It's going to be a tough one because we play them every single year. It's always a tough CAA battle, but we'll have to see. And then they come back home the next week against Rhode Island. Texas losing to Oklahoma State this past weekend. Tom Herman and Mike Gundy were getting at it in the middle of the field, man.
I saw that on Facebook. I was like, what the heck happened?
I love to stir the pot here with these coaches because Tom Herman thought that Mike Gundy was trying to start something, but he actually wasn't. He was trying to stop a fight from happening. But Texas's defense was very exposed that game. I mean, Oklahoma State, they lost to Iowa State a couple weeks ago, and now they just come back and beat Texas. They must have watched the film very hard this week and gotten ready for this game because they showed it. And they beat them 38-35. And now number 6 Texas, they go down. And this is the first week of the college football playoff rankings. The top 4 teams: Alabama, LSU, Notre Dame, and I forget the last one.
Yeah, I don't even know.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah, let me search that up right now.
Syracuse beating NC State. Number 22 NC State goes down again. The kryptonite of the ACC, Syracuse beats another good team. Syracuse now moves on to 6-2. Hopefully they can get into the top 25 now because they've been playing great against some teams. And to beat NC State, it's hard to do because they have a great quarterback.
Okay, I found 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alabama, Clemson, LSU.
Clemson. How did I forget about them?
Yes, Clemson. So continue.
And then finally, Penn State beating Iowa. It's always a tough game against Iowa. Those corn-fed boys are always ready for a fight.
Corn-fed
and
boys, are you kidding me?
To Happy Valley. And number 17, Penn State beats Iowa 30-24. Number 18, Iowa, actually. And now Penn State has got the toughest test of their season. They got to play Michigan in the Big House next week. And I don't know if they're up to it, but what if they got to lose now? Yeah. Go all out, and we'll see if the Nittany Lions can pull off an upset against the Wolverines in the Big House.
That might be a flat screen in your basement.
It might be, Josh. It might be.
Yeah, party at your place.
But that's all I got for you on college football.
All right. CJ, that's always great once again, your insight on college football. And what was I going to say? Yes. So moving on from that, college football breakdown. Thank you once again, CJ. And really quick, I just want to touch on how terrible the Wizards have been playing.
How about terrible? How about just terrible in general defenses are right now? Chicago Bulls against the Golden State Warriors, 92 points in the first half. 92 points in the first half?
Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Tackle the man or something. Tackle Klay Thompson or something. Get ejected. Stop the rain. Stop the rainmaker, man.
Yeah, but the Wizards here, they're only 1-6.
Yeah.
I honestly think they're rebuilding. I mean, I haven't watched the Wizards a lot. I've been way too busy. But the Wizards, they're rebuilding, and I think Scott Brooks needs to go. I just don't see how he's helping the team. I mean, I just think it's going to be a rebuilding year for the Wizards. I'm going to be short and sweet about this, but it's really going to be a rebuilding year, and there's got to be a lot to change. And I still want to see how Dwight Howard does. Will he help or hurt the team? But Wizards are 1-6 in the Southeastern Division Conference, whatever. But another story in the NBA, the Cavaliers fired Tyronn Lue. They are winless.
So
they must miss LeBron James.
So Ty Lue gets fired before Hugh Jackson. He won a championship before Hugh Jackson did. But
yeah, so NBA, it's looking tough for the Wizards so far, but we'll keep you updated on some more NBA scores here soon. But let's move on here to hockey really quick. How about the Islanders crushing your Penguins 6-3?
Okay, man, of course you picked that score.
Yeah, because Barry Trotz is in the coach
for still 6-2. Start off the season
no
strong.
6-2-2.
6-2-2?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that second game where Washington came to you all in the overtime, and that was a crazy game. But yeah,
high-scoring games for the NHL. Right
yeah, no, but that second game the Caps and the Pens played in the second game of the season, your first, high-scoring games like that, coaches don't like to see because
absolutely.
Yeah, because you're playing to lose.
Exactly.
Like, you got to keep it tight and whatnot. Hey, congrats to Phoenix Copley, by the way, getting his first career NHL win. So, yeah, but you're a Pittsburgh fan, unfortunately. How's your hockey team gonna look this year?
I mean, we haven't really gotten rid of anybody since the past season. I don't see any reason why we can't repeat and go to the playoffs once again. Same thing as your Capitals. I don't see a reason why we won't see each other once again in the playoffs.
Yeah.
There might be a fight breaking out on the podcast if we meet up again, but that's okay.
Yeah, but how do you feel once Evgeny Kuznetsov went down and scored that overtime game-winning goal to send you all home?
I mean, every team can be beaten. I've seen Nick Bonino score on you guys and send you guys home many a times.
Yep.
So it is what it is. I cheered on the Caps after you guys beat us, and it's because I'm not a fair weather fan. You guys deserve to beat the reigning champs. Whoever beats the reigning champs deserves to win the Stanley Cup title. So I have to tip my hat to you guys.
Yeah, so Washington, their last game was against Calgary. They won that game 4-3. If I am correct, they do not play again till, let's see here.
I believe it's Thursday.
Yes, Thursday, November 1st, 7:30 against Montreal. That's at Montreal. I just can't wait for a home game. I want to start going some Caps games. Caps Pens on November 7th. I'm looking forward to watching that game. I was actually trying to get tickets to go see them, but of course the Caps and the Pens tickets are so expensive. Like, for
Bring in
real.
a lot of revenue, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yep. CJ, any last thoughts for the podcast?
Nope. Let's hope I can get a little bit more heated next week with a couple of these games coming up. Let's hope we don't have another game where there's no passing yards in a game. But if there is, you'll hear my voice get heated one more time. So
yeah, but I literally still can't believe Georgia Tech beat Virginia Tech with no passing yards.
I've seen it all, man. Now, I've seen teams beat people with no rushing yards, absolutely.
Yeah.
But passing? What? I don't understand that. So, I've seen it all now, man. I've seen it all.
Yep. Well, I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
No, sir.
I don't think I did. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I almost forgot for the podcast listeners. We are starting out week 9 of the National Football League, Thursday, November 1st. It's a battle of the Bay, the Oakland Raiders and the San Francisco 49ers. 1-6 between 1 and 7.
Start out the week right.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be putts of the week either way, man.
All righty. And then Atlanta coming to Washington. I'm excited to watch that game. Pittsburgh and the Ravens play. Another rivalry game.
Another tidbit, I will actually be at that game working on the sidelines for the Steelers.
What?
My buddy who works
No
in Pittsburgh
way.
allowed me to come up and help volunteer with the game, so I'm going to go up there on Sunday and help them out.
With the Steelers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh. How'd they get you? How'd he get access for you to do that?
Well, they always need help with volunteers for road games.
Yeah.
And so Baltimore, they needed some extra help with volunteers, and so he said, well, I know a guy, and so now I'm going up there on Sunday.
No way. How's that going to work? You know details or anything yet?
Yeah, I'll be working with on the sideline, just helping out the team with some stuff confidential, but I'm not going to get to too much into that. But
Oh, confidential? So you can't really go into much detail?
I don't really want to go into much detail on it, but I'll be there on Sunday.
Like equipment or?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, still going back to the first time you were on the podcast, that's stuff you love to do. So get yourself out there still. But
of course, that's what I'm doing.
Man, that'd be awesome. If they ever need somebody, call them my way.
I'm right down the road.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But enjoy that. Then we have New York Jets in Miami, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Carolina Panthers. the Chicago Bears and the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Seattle Seahawks, the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. A very great game, 4:25 on Fox. The Los Angeles Rams play the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, it's not Monday Night Football? I'm sorry. I made the wrong call.
Ah, yeah.
I guess
I didn't even know. And yeah, okay, so the Sunday night game is Green Bay and New England. And the Monday night game is Tennessee in Dallas. So Dallas coming off a bye week. I'm interested to see how Cooper does. That Amari Cooper. I don't know. Jerry Jones, let's see if he overpaid for him or if it was an investment. So, yeah, that is week 9 of the NFL coming your way. We will have all the recap from me and my boy CJ, my wonderful co-host. And I think that's going to do it for the Josh Kirby on Sports podcast, episode 11. Unless I missed something. I don't think I did this time.
Nope.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, as always, make sure you follow our social medias on Facebook at Kirby on Sports Podcast, on Twitter at Kirby on Sports, our brand new Instagram, Josh Kirby on Sports Podcast, at Josh Kirby on Sports Podcast. And make sure you email us, kirbyonsports@gmail.com. Thank you so much for tuning in once again to the Josh Kirby on Sports Podcast. And me and CJ will catch you next time. Until next time, we say so long.